Once you download, you will be able to see this Cube IDE. Just extract that one, then go to terminal and in CD home Raviteja, where is okay downloads ls, yeah, here you can see this shell script. Okay, what you should do is chmod plus x and the executable file. If you give like this, it will get the executable permission. Then you need to do dot slash stm32, sorry, stm this one, and just click on enter. This will enter your stm32 cube IDE. Okay, in case of Windows laptop, just double click on that executable file and just click on any regular software. Just click on next and select the paths and everything and click on finish, and it will start installing the stm32 cube IDE. Process is very simple. No big complications or anything is required. Once you install the STM32 Cube IDE in Linux, anyhow GCC is there. ARM compiler will be installed by default in STM32. In case if you are using Windows machine, just add your GCC path to environment variable path. That should do the job. Okay. Now this is what our STM32 Cube IDE will look like after installation. So after installing, these are the steps that we follow. Get latest, then we click on accept the agreement. I suggest you to create one STM32 Cube IDE. It will be useful in upcoming classes to download some softwares, and you can just give your details and install. After installing, the first screen will look like this on STM32 Cube IDE. Okay, now you should click on create project. So I will show you manually that one better. So it is your STM32 Cube IDE, right? So file and here STM32 project create or import. Just click on this one and create new STM32 project. Okay. Create new STM32 project. And then we have here other options also to import a MX project or any other things. For now, you click on create new STM32 project. Then the board selector, if you are using any standard board, if you are using any MCU, you can check for that MCU part. For this course, I will be using like Nucleo F4, I have some F411RE. So this will be the board I will be using for this project. In case if you have any STM32 discovery board or anything, please you can use same board also. But you should be doing some modifications. For example, here pin 5 will be showing for LED. In your system, some other pin might be referring to that LED, right? So you should be comfortable in handling those kind of situations. That is how you will become an embedded software engineer. Because in industry, you will not only work on the board what you learned, right? Based on their requirements, you should be able to switch. So for this course, I will be using Nucleo. Some students said like they have discovery board. So in some lectures, I will show you courses on discovery board also. Okay, don't worry. Now click on next. After that, you create here some name, project name you can give, for example, hello, and language I will be using is C, and target type should be executable. And here, if you want default location, you can select default location. If not, I have created one specific directory for our embedded systems related things. So here I will be storing all my code. Okay, select that one and click on finish. Done. Let's, okay, hello. Now what we can do, if you see, we have few directories, source, main.c and everything. Okay, now project has we have successfully created a project. Now what you can do, just select the project and click on build. If you see here, sorry, project created successfully and built successfully. But you see some warnings showing FPU is not initialized, right? FPU is like floating point unit that I will discuss in later sections. For now, if you want to disable this error, you have two options. Either you can comment this one floating point related thing and build the project, warning will be gone. If not, right click, properties, settings, MCU, MPU settings, and then here floating point unit. Select this to none and select this to software implementation. Click on apply, rebuild the index, then apply and close. Okay, now build the project again. Now if you see, there are 0 warnings and 0 errors. So now our compilation was successful. So our setup is ready. How I am telling, if you see here, we are using ARM none EABI GCC, which is cross compiler for ARM targets. So what we are doing, we are using either Windows PC or Linux PC and using that particular compiler which we will be targeting. So here STM32 uses ARM boards, right? So ARM none EABI GCC is the cross compiler for ARM targets. This got installed when we install this STM32CUBEIDE. If you see in our Linux courses, we used GCC -O like that, right? Why? We are compiling target, I mean the binary for same Linux PC. But here using Windows PC, we are generating target for STM32, which is ARM. This process we called as cross compilation and this is called as cross compiler. And the final binary generated is hello.elf. This is the executable file. In upcoming lectures, I will show you how to analyze these executable files, how we can debug using these executable files. Okay, so for now, this is the setup, how what we do. So please make sure your setup is ready for your next class. In next class, I will show you multiple concepts like running the code, understanding the startup files, how these startup files actually work, what is the reset sequence, everything we will understand. Okay, sure. Thank you.